There we go, ladies and gentlemen, gearing up for another exciting day on the water tomorrow. Gonna punch out of Sunset Beach again and try and figure out those flats. Found a couple holes on the Google Maps. We're gonna try and hit a little bit deeper water, but wanted to take a couple of seconds here and show you the basic loadout. Now that I got everything, rewired, set back up for fishing and everything out of the kayak. And the basics for the saltwater, it's pretty simple setup and all that good stuff. Got one box, a couple of sabiki rigs in there, a bunch of mirror lures, a couple of deep divers, just the standard colors and stuff like that. Chrome blues, whites, red, white, a lot of greenback mullet, black and silver mullet, stuff like that. And then for jigs, the other box, I got a couple of chug bugs in there, some rattle traps, various sizes, a couple small ones for the ultralight, because I am going to be taking the ultralight rod out there. Little minnow lures, top waters, bunch of jigs, some soft plastic hooks, and then the standard spoons, just a G-spot spoon, 3/8 and a ½ ounce chrome with a red tail on it. The live bait rigging box, just a whole bunch of different hooks, circle hooks, different styles, different sizes, all the way down to the little tiny bait hooks, depending on what size bait I catch. One pre-rig, different size bank sinkers, split shots, and then little tiny ones for catching more bait if I have to. This little trolling rig, I've actually had it in this box forever, but probably not going to use it, just have not taken it out of there. And I got all the standard camera Gucci gear that I'm going to break out tomorrow, the head strap, chest strap, and see how those work out. Worked out pretty good on a little pond trip. Got the Onyx AM42, self-inflatable life jacket. If you don't have a life jacket like this, highly recommend it, man, because it's a lot cooler than like a ski jacket type that I grew up using everything on the kayaks. It's small, simple, breathes a lot better, and it's self-inflatable, so as soon as you hit the water, it's going to pop open. And I actually had one of my guys out in Miramar test it out for me, and it worked. Got it all rearmed, and I'm going to be using this now. And then I got just a Fraybill folding net. It folds up, bang, just like that, so it stores nice and small. Flips out. You want to make sure you use it to where you're not going to the flip side. That way it doesn't accidentally flip closed on you or buckle under pressure under the fish. And it's also got a telescoping handle here. Pull that out, just telescopes out. So pretty decent piece of gear right there. I've had it for several years. Use it for a lot of tournament fishing down in Fort Worth, and it fits nice and neat. Then we got the expandable bump board for measuring everything. You can pull that all the way out to I think it's like 25 inches, maybe 30, something like that. But it's a pretty easy little board. Floats if you drop it. Got a couple little tie down straps on there, just in case the fish is too long. You can or ornery, flopping around and stuff. You can bungee his ass down. Then for all the bird's eye view, that's going to be the camera pole right there. And all it is a piece of PVC pipe that I put a screw through, so it holds this pipe centered up. Bang! A little notch in the bottom, so that stays straight. That way my camera stays pointed forward at all times. A little bit of electrical tape on there for sizing. Hose clamps onto the back of the basket there. So that way it stays nice and tight. And I can flip it back and forth from this one to my freshwater basket. Inside the basket, got a drift sock. And this is where my trays are going to go also. Got the de-hooking tool. Got the big 75-pound lip grip. Hopefully I get a chance to use that while we're down here. And then a anchor. All it is a 5-pound dumbbell. Got my little piece of pool noodle up there on the end of it. And then just clip it on however far out I want to go. Twist it off basically and keep it on there. Got 4 rod racks on the actual box itself that sits in the back of the kayak. Then one of the most important pieces of gear right there is going to be the stakeout pole. Boom! 8-foot carbon fiber, or fiberglass actually, stakeout pole. You just drive that thing into the bottom and then put it into your eyelet right there on the anchor trolley system on the kayak. Bang! You're staked out. You're not going anywhere up to about 6 feet of water. Then we're going to be using the Daiwa. It's the Procyon reel and a Presso ultralight rig, same one I use in the freshwater. We're going to be using that tomorrow in the saltwater. Got the just the standard 1/8 ounce Roadrunner head I can put small little plastic lures on there. And of course Sable, she wants me to play with her ball. Wherever that thing went, keeps dropping at my feet. But I wish I could take her with me. That dog is my partner in crime for like the last 6 years. Then I got another Daiwa or pen reel, pen slammer combo. Got that thing. It's a nice little combo. Works well. All my spinning rods are set up with 10-pound Berkeley Trailing Big Game main line, and then it's going to be the 15-pound Andy fluorocarbon leader on there. Anywhere from about 2 to about 5 feet, depending on how much is left of the leader. This one's going to be running a mirror lure right off of the back. There's a hard lure to beat in the salt water. Then we got another Pro Scion Daiwa Tatula rod. This one's going to be set up dedicated to the soft plastics, whether it's going to be weedless little jerk shads that I'm going to get to in a minute, stuff like that. Ooh, another one, got a 1/4 ounce Roadrunner head on that, and that's going to be for all little paddle tail lures, things of that nature that we're going to be running. And then for the bait casters, I'm kind of undecided. I got the Abu Garcia 5500 C3 on a 7.5 foot ugly stick. Very nice rod for rattle trap work and things like that, and also a free lining, or a 7 foot rather. But it's going to be good for a free lining live mullet, the little finger mullet and stuff. Then this guy right here, the Abu Garcia 7000 lever drags, got 20-pound braid. This is good for pulling stumps. It was my snapper rig in most places, and it's a phenomenal rod. Might use it. See, it depends on the redfish situation. Also, what kind of bait that I get when I get out there and get all set up. If I've got big mullet, running like 8 or 10 inch mullet, something like that, I'll probably opt with a bigger bait cast, because I'm going to try and hit some pockets that are deeper water. Might be able to pull something off, and I'm also going to be fishing an incoming tide tomorrow, so the water's going to be a little bit deeper than the outgoing tide that we had last time. For what I keep inside the kayak, for the little ditch bag that I got, that's going to sit right inside my center console. Going to have the the Elite DSI fish finder, and I just bought the chip for this also, so I'm going to have all the maps and charts for wrecks and islands and stuff like that for around here. This should be in the next couple of days. But inside the bag, it's going to have my Seaguar 30-pound fluorocarbon. That's if I start getting bigger baits. Then the standard 15-pound Andy fluorocarbon. Got to have the rape whistle in case something goes wrong. You got to be able to signal people, try and get some help while you're out there. Digital fish scale. This one goes up to 65 pounds. Haven't had a need to test that yet. Hopefully tomorrow we're going to fix that. Then just odds and ends down in there, little lifesavers and stuff. Keep your mouth wet while you're out there so you don't get too dehydrated. Extra carabiners. Then for the soft plastics, we're going to be running white grub tails. I've got some white with pink tail little paddle fish. I found 3 bags of my Berkeley jerk shads, the power baits, so those are going to be going with us. I've got some mullet, different color, and some pearl tube jigs, power baits, some more jerk shads that are black and silver, and also some ghost pearl. And then for the power bait shrimp, I've got 2 different colors in there. Both of them are natural, but they were just made in a different year. But those work as well. And these are all going to be run on that dedicated soft plastics rod. And just beat them up, hopefully. Some darker tube jigs, Berkeley power baits. I usually put an 1/8 ounce tube jig head on that. Some little white grubs. These are actually freshwater grubs, but they work great in salt water as well. Those things got beat to pieces last time. Don't know if I'm gonna get these out. They're like 8-inch chartreuse eels. And the Berkeley Gulp Alive shrimp. They work pretty good, but man, the pinfish just rip these things to pieces usually before the big fish get a hold of them. Got one left, gonna use it before it dries up, because that's a huge problem with these. You open a package, man, you maybe got a month before you have to use all of them. Otherwise they just dry up inside there. And some more little paddle tail smaller lures to go out there. Gotta have your standard scissors, needle nose pliers. I've had this set for probably about 10-12 years now. Had them forever. They work good. And then besides all of our lures that stay in the center console, got the buff, goes around your head, keeps you from getting sunburnt. Stringer sits inside there. Little rag, clean off your sunglasses and all that good stuff. Got the case for the sunglasses in case you got to take them off, and then I got a spare pair of sunglasses as well. same kind. That way, you know, it's just a backup in case something goes wrong. And then of course, you know, more gum. Then for the optics portion of it, we're going to be running the Sony live action cameras. I've actually got 2 of the AS100s and then an AS30 that I've had forever, and I'm going to be running all 3 of those. This one will be on the head harness. You know, one's going to be on the front, and one's going to be on the bird's eye view. Spare battery for each one. All of them got more than enough memory to you know, handle a full day of fishing. My 7-foot Super Pro cast net has 1/4-inch mesh. Is the heaviest one they sell in the 1/4-inch mesh. So that way it gets out there, fucking, pardon my French. It gets out there, it lands, you know, and it's nice and neat. Catch a lot of bait that way. Just got me my Flow Troll Magnum shrimp bucket. It's to be the biggest bucket. It's like a 10 quart, something like that. But lost my last Flow Troll bait bucket when we were sitting out at Possum Kingdom and got hit in that nasty thunderstorm. We lost the bait bucket, lost some coolers and all that. Matter of fact, I need to throw a cooler in the bed of the truck so for the fish in anticipation of catching them. Something I'm going to add on this time is going to be the Minnow Trap, just a standard Fraybale Minnow Trap. I'm going to throw that out while I'm loading the kayak, getting it all set up in the water, and see if I catch anything in there. If I catch something, I can just throw it in the kayak. It's nice and light, and then I'll just deploy it at, you know, whatever stop. And then everything, you know, hook it up with carabiners and all that good stuff. That way, you know, like the bait bucket, I can just hook it onto the side here, you know, right on the front eyelet of the trolley, right here on the handle, eyelet right there, whatever. Hook it on there, bring it in, all that good stuff, leave it out, whatever. Ain't got to worry about it disappearing. 2-quart canteen goes right in the back of my Austin kayak seat, and I'll show you that in 2 seconds. But that way you got at least 2 quarts of water. Gatorade, snacks and all that good stuff, whatever kind you want to take. Something that's got a, you know, high energy, a lot of sugar and carbs stuff, you know, so you can suck it down real quick. Little peanut butter sandwiches go real well. The Crustables, but the kids ate all my Crustables, so I gotta go with little Emerald snacks. Now for the seat itself, like I said, it's the Austin kayak seat. It's got all the harnesses on it. It's got a spot for water bottles. Got a pouch in the back here, which is where I stick my 2-quart canteen. Lower lumbar support, wraps around you on the sides. I tell you this, when you're out there for an entire day on the water, man, a good seat makes a lot of difference. You know, you don't want to get the sore ass from sitting around on hard plastic all day, and you know, your back starts to hurt with cheaper seats. Started out with like a $30 seat, and then I ended up bumping up to a nice foam, you know, about inch thick seat. And then jumped up to this one right here with all the back support and everything, in a higher density foam in the seat itself. Now for the kayak, the way she's all rigged up, you know, it's a pretty simple setup. First thing we got gonna be the sunscreen. Definitely taking that out tomorrow, because yeah, everybody saw the last video, you saw the sunburn. Well, it is evened out rather nicely, you know. So yeah, good base burn, you know. You gotta have that first time out every year. But the kayak itself, Sable! Kayak itself, you got the LEDs sitting on the front of it. Underneath the gator hatch, you can put just a ton of stuff inside the kayak. Then you got the center console right there. Fish finder goes there. I've got my bug lights on the sides over here. You know, they're supposed to mimic fire and keep the bugs away. The zip tie on the side over there is for the stringer. So something I learned a long time ago in Pensacola was if you're ever out there on the flats fishing or something like that, you put a zip tie on your hip or wherever you're going to be tying the stringer to, in case a shark runs up and grabs it. Hopefully it'll pop that zip tie, because it's going to be weaker than the actual cord stringer or anything else. And that way, if it pops that, take your stringer, go away, it won't dump you in the water. Even though I'm going to be fishing the flats tomorrow, you know, not deep water or anything, I don't want to go in the water with something that's hungry and trying to steal my stuff. And the back there is this typical, you know, that's where the seat's going to go. A couple of rod holders. So I have a total of 6 rod holders, 4 on the box, and then 2 in the kayak. Dry storage for the keys and the wallet. Other than that, pretty simple setup, and it's effective. I've been out in the water up to 11 hours at a shot on this thing, and I had no issues whatsoever. You know, it's a fine kayak, and love the way it's rigged up. And hopefully we can do some more damage tomorrow and catch some more fish. But until then, stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed the video on how I got my stuff all rigged up. Hopefully it helps out and, you know, give you some ideas or something like that. If you got any other ideas, throw them up on YouTube, man. That's where I learned how to rig most of my stuff. and then just time on the water. Time on the water is the best thing you can have for detailing your loadout. We will see you guys tomorrow morning.